So the first thing we're going to do is take off the winglets. Okay, so here in the wing is a join. That's like your elbow. This little bit that sticks out is like your hand, and that's the chicken wing, yeah? So we're going to cut it through the elbow, through the bendy bit. You find the join, and you just run your knife back and forth, and it just come off lovely. Same on the other side. Find the bend, let your knife do the work, yeah? I'm not putting any pressure, I'm just sawing back and forth and going straight through the join. You can tell you're through the join because you'll cut the white bit and not crunch through a piece of bone. Pull the skin from the leg onto the breast. Pull it nice and tight. That's going to help in the presentation later on. I'm now going to cut this bit of skin. Not the flesh, the skin. Cut through the skin. Not cut any of the meat. Just the skinny bit, yeah? And then I'm going to turn the chicken over, and as I do that, there's our little ball here. That's called the oyster, that's the best bit of meat. So I'm going to get my knife to go around it. Because I want that little bit. And then, if we're all quiet, this should be a lovely noise. Pop out the hip. Take my knife, and where I've made that gap, put my knife into that gap and cut straight down towards the chopping board, keeping my fingers out of the way. Yep, and I've taken off a leg. I pull the skin tight on the leg. I can turn it over if I want, and if I turn it over, in here there's a little line through. See that white line? I pull the skin tight to make sure it looks pretty, and then bend in the knee. I find that gap that's in between the bones and I slice through there, yeah? So I'm not chopping any bones, you can see that because there's a white bit there. And that's my two bits. Pull those nice and tight. Always putting the skin tight over the top of the meat, yeah? That makes it look good. I'm going to take off this little bit of leg as well. Same thing, where it bends, that's where I'm going to put my knife in and slice through. Pulling the skin tight over the drumstick. Same on the other side. Pull the skin onto the breast. Slice through the skin, not through the meat. Go around and get the oyster. Pop out that hip bone and slice down towards the chopping board. Where it bends, put my knife through it. Nice and gentle. I'm not putting any pressure. Pull the skin tight. On the join where it bends. Drumstick. Now we've got the breast, yeah, or the crown. If I take off this bit of carcass here, then all I've got left is a crown. Okay, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to show you the next bit. So now, because I've pulled the skin off the legs, I need to put it tight over the breast now so it looks all pretty and nice. And because I've done that, there's lines that run down the chicken, straight down. And that's where I'm going to cut next. Straight down until I feel the ribs. And again I can go straight down and I go through that white bit of the bone, through the cartilage. That takes off one part of the breast. Pull the skin. Same on this side. So all I've done is turn the chicken around. I'm going straight down. There's a line of feathers. The chicken likes to puff up when it's getting all big and that. And they run along here. You can see that thickness in the skin. You'll see that when you're doing it. I go straight down. I feel the side of the ribs cage. Straight down in towards the chopping board. Pull the skin tight back over the breast. And there's another bit of breast. I'm just going to take the skin off the neck now. That's just for aesthetics, just to make it look pretty. Okay, now through the cavity and down. You're going to crunch through some bones now. When you get right to the bottom, you take the point of your knife and go in at 45 degrees. And you're not actually cutting through bone, you're just separating it. There you go, there's the carcass. What's that bit good for? It's like music, wasn't it? Okay, now I've got the bits of breast on the side, and I'm just going to cut through the middle of those. Crunch. Pull the skin nice and tight over the top. And that should be about 10 bits of chicken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.